Welcome to 12 in Our Schools. I'm Brian Jenkins. Faced with a generation of students who are inundated with media influences on the computer and on TV, schools have adopted media instruction as one method of keeping up and keeping interest. But most of those broadcast production programs are aimed at middle schools and high schools. We found one at Village Elementary School in Montgomery in Somerset County aimed at fourth graders.
Good morning, Village School.
Today's news anchors are getting early training at, or tomorrow's rather, are getting early training at Village Elementary School, part of a computer and broadcast arts program that's common to many schools among older kids, but unique among New Jersey's fourth graders. Computer resource teacher Jim Dolan helps students coordinate a daily newscast that's beamed into the school's classrooms every morning. He uses a rotating cast of anchors supported by all the technical wizardry you'd find in a real television studio, manned by a crack staff of fourth grade crew members. The content is a bit more tame and, of course, kid-friendly.
Our character education thought of the day is, be a good friend by listening when your friend has a problem to talk about.
And now for our WeatherBug weather report. Today is expected to be sunny.
There will be outdoor recess today. Today's lunch will be rotini with Italian meat sauce and garlic bread. Please tune in next time for another exciting edition of VES News. Have a beautiful Wednesday.
Hey, should I be planning for early retirement here? Well, let's meet some of the farm team for tomorrow's broadcasters, along with their teacher. Joining me today, Emily Skudlarski and Alexandra Jakubowski, both on-air talents for VES News, and Jim Dolan here to my right is the computer resource teacher at Village Elementary. And thanks again to all of you for coming aboard, taking a day out of the classes to come and join us today.
It's our pleasure.
This is pretty unique among kids this young. What is it that you hope to bring into the classroom equation when you teach kids these kinds of skills?
We bring so many skills into the equation. We're not only bringing the technical skills that the kids are learning by working on the equipment, the sound equipment, the video equipment. Also, we have some of other examples of our students here who are actually writing the scripts. So we also have the language arts component.
Right.
So we have technical, we have presentation skills that they're learning. We have the practicing beforehand and showing all the skills that you need to really for the world ahead.
Wow.
Okay? Those are some of the real important things that the kids really need to feel confident, build their self-esteem, and so on to make them really excel later on. And if we're doing it and building it at such a young age that we are now in the fourth grade, and sometimes we even work a third grader in there to help me as well, it's just a fantastic program where a lot of times I don't get to hear all of the great news, but some of the teachers will email me or see me in the hall and say, you did a great job today. You won't believe the feedback and the self-esteem that the kids have grown from this and the feedback they've gotten, not from me, but from their peers.
Well, let me ask some of the girls here. Both of you have been on camera and do a variety of the work there in the studio. What kind of feedback do you get from your fellow students when they see you on the broadcast?
Well, some of them are really, happy and excited that they got to be on the news and we got to be on the news, and when we get back, everybody's all happy and clapping and stuff like that.
Now, do both of you do the writing?
Well, I wrote some parts of it, and the friend that I was on the news with helped me write it. So technically, the person that I was with wrote it with me.
Now, Emily, let me ask you. You have done some of the on-air stuff, right?
Yes.
What do you get back from your teachers when they see you?
Well, they say that I did a really good job, and they clap when we come back in.
Well, that certainly must make you feel good for the rest of the day. You go in there, people have seen you on the TV, and they like what you've done. Now, when you sit down the day before, you plan each newscast the day before, right? You sit down with your teacher and you decide what you're going to put in. Take me through a little of the conversation. What goes on when you decide what's going to go in the newscast?
Well, sort of after we write it, we have to rehearse it once or twice with Mr. Dolan where in the library where we have the broadcast. And sometimes we fix things and sometimes we change things. And there's a lot of other things we have to do with the script and the camera. And
do you guys get to pick the topics like the science projects or the weather things that you do, or does he pick that?
We pick some stuff.
Okay, okay. Jim, let me ask you, how much of that goes into your equation in terms of what you decide to let them put on? I mean, do they pick a lot of the stuff there, or do you kind of give them the guidelines?
It depends on the week, and I don't play the whole role. I take the role as far as rehearsing and making sure the show goes off. But it's a real team effort. The classroom teachers, we have, I think, 17 or 18 fourth grade classrooms, and each week we switch teachers. So the classroom teacher plays a major role in this to make it work. There are some things that we have to announce, events, just like you do on a regular news program. And there are things that we want to introduce, like this past week we were doing WeatherBug and exploring our weather station that we have at our school. So we wanted to highlight each day each of the weather instruments. So for that, that's something that I kind of threw in and wanted to share with the staff members and with our whole school. But other times, the kids come up with trivia questions, fun facts, riddles of the day, and they come to me with that, and we go through it. We may have to edit it or change it slightly, but we like the input from the students, and I really do have to thank the classroom teachers who helped develop the script with me as well.
Certainly, it fits in with today's, the influence that these kids get from the internet, from television, this whole media genre, that this program seems to play right into that.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about the technical ends of this. We'll be right back in just a minute. Welcome back. We're talking about applying computer and broadcast skills to the classroom, not in college or high school, but at the tender stage of 4th grade. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on in the VES newsroom at Village Elementary School.
So what we're going to do is when, I think, Holly, are you saying?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm an extra.
When you're doing that, if you want to just kind of rotate this around a little bit, okay, like that, while Holly's talking about it, what we're going to do is zoom in, have our camera zoom in, kind of like we did today with the other instrument, and just give people a closer look at that weather instrument. The key thing when we do our announcements is to be nice and loud and nice and slow.
And animated.
Yes, if you can be animated, that's the best, okay?
I got an award for being animated last year.
Fantastic. Our camera's right here. That's your audience. So whenever you're not reading off of the script, whenever you're not looking down, take a look up at our camera. Okay? The more eye contact you make with the camera and your audience, the better the broadcast is going to be. All right?
There will be outdoor recess today. Today's lunch will be turkey taco meat and shredded cheddar in a soft flour tortilla. At this time, please stand for the flag salute.
1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Wait for everyone else to finish saying it, and now back to our weather.
Our next instrument measures temperature, humidity, and pressure. The vented outside housing keeps the instruments out of direct sunlight so we can get an accurate temperature reading. Please tune in next time for another exciting edition of VES News. Have a great day!
All right, great animated ending. We'll read through one more time just so we get comfortable with
I only
it.
made one mistake. I paused before this one. It's
Okay. You know what you do? What you did was perfect because you're doing live television for our school, so there's no time to say, oops, I forgot, I don't know what to do next, help me out. You found the problem and you fixed it and just kept on going. That's exactly what you have to do. Okay?
Back with me in our studio, two more of the students here. Sal Alvarado Olivo is a cameraman and a technical whiz in general, and Jabari Clemens, our on-air talent, along with computer resource teacher Jim Dolan. Thanks, guys, for taking a day out to come and join us. You are kind of a jack of all talents around there. You do a lot of things. Tell me about that.
Well, I did the behind the scenes and I did the outside weather report. Both of them are really interesting. Like behind the scenes, you get to control the camera, the sound volume, and the slideshow that shows to the whole school. And the outside weather report, you also get to say how much snow there is and if
They
there's.
actually send you outside to go and do these things.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So now, when you're at home in the morning, when you're getting ready for school, do you watch those guys and say, one day I'm going to have that job?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Normally, I like tennis a lot, so normally I think about tennis and broadcasting, too.
Okay. Well,
It's kind of hard to decide.
those can go hand in hand. You never know. Jabari, now what's your part in all of this? You're one of the on-air people, right?
Yeah.
What does that do for you? Does it build your confidence at all?
Sometimes, like when we were practicing before the day I had to go on air, I was kind of nervous, even when we weren't really doing it. Yeah, so probably it did kind of build my confidence when I actually did the on-air thing.
And once you got on air, it helped you. You just kind of sucked all that air in there and just delivered, huh? What kind of feedback did you get from your teachers?
Well, when I came back to the classroom, all my friends were laughing, my teachers were clapping and smiling, all my friends were like patting my back and doing high fives.
Did you take that good feeling home with you after you left that day?
Yeah, I went on the computer and showed my mom and my brother what I did.
That's great. That's great. And I would imagine, Jim, that translates in a lot of ways, that confidence that these kids get, maybe on just that one day.
It's there and much, much more, and it's fantastic. I wish I had this opportunity when I was growing up, but I'd probably have to be a Sal. I didn't have the guts to be on camera. I wish I did, because that would have built my self-esteem up so I can have the self-esteem that these kids have, because it goes throughout their whole day. Jabari, I know you are in our morning intro each day, and I asked you, how do you feel about that? And you were kind of like a little shy. You didn't like all that attention, but in the end, I know that you really enjoyed it. I know it built up your self-esteem, your confidence, because we have an audience of 850 kids, plus about 100 staff members, so almost 1,000 people in total that we reach every single day. And to have the guts to do that is fantastic. It's amazing to me. And what you carry through from week to week and day to day with that, it's got to be amazing. And like I said, I get that feedback a lot from the kids sometimes, from the teachers, and it just keeps me going every time. Once we were going to have a potential snow day, and I asked the kids, I said, well, would you rather have a snow day tomorrow, or would you rather do the news? And I was shocked by the answer. The kids actually said, I'd actually rather do the news. They later recanted a little bit and said, well, maybe we'll have an early dismissal that day. But that just shows me the impact that this has on the kids.
And they're really into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So you get the language component from the writing. They improve in their ability to communicate, their technical skills. I mean, things that they can develop long after they leave school. It's just a great program.
Absolutely.
My hat's off to you, to the school, to you guys for being involved. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. Right now, we're going to talk about our Student of the Week.